Awkward silence or verbal diarrhea?
Verbal diarrhea.
Welcome to After Work Drinks, you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
So today I've got two chief growth officers with me who are going to explain exactly what that means. So welcome to the sofa, Jemima Monies from AMV.
No.
And Lucy Taylor, formerly from MullenLowe. Cheers, mate. And thank you for bringing the margaritas. Yeah. Nobody has brought an alcoholic drink yet. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a good or bad
thing. That's a good thing. And I was actually very excited to drink with you. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
So let's talk about CGO life. So what exactly is the remit of a chief growth officer?
I mean, the title's a bit much, isn't it?
It is a lot.
It's not as bad as chief of staff, which I have seen creep into agencies. Very important, but perhaps not that important.
It did feel a bit too like White Housey, didn't it?
It did. You know, if you're chief of staff in the White House, then I think title deserved.
So tell me what a CGO does.
I would say my role as CGO and my team's role is to create the most attractive shop window to bring opportunities into the agency. And once they're in the agency, create the best conditions to turn those opportunities into new wins and new clients, like at its most purest, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's growth, right? So that could be new business. It could be specifically pitching. It could be PR, marketing, organic growth. I mean, one of the things I'd say also, it is about setting a strategy first and foremost. So you set a strategy for the year. You get people to buy into that strategy, your board, for example. And then I think one of the key things for success is keeping everybody on the strategy. It's about growing clients' business and then ultimately our business too.
Day to day, what percentage of new business does your life take up? What percentage of marketing? How do you do the marketing for an agency?
It changes literally on an hourly basis. And I think that's the thing I love the most. Like, you could be working on one thing and then something pops up or an opportunity comes in and you have to pivot to that. So I love the depth and breadth and the fast pace of it. I think you need to be an all-rounder. Like, you need to be creative, you need to be strategic, you need to be a people person, you need to be very organised.
One of the really key things about this role is making relationships fast. So whether it's with intermediaries or potential clients or internal, when you've just landed a role, you've got to galvanise teams really quickly. You've got to make people love you, whether they're intermediaries or peers, and you've got to go quite fast because inevitably you don't have a huge amount of time in a pitch. You know, some are 2 weeks, some are 6 weeks, some are 6 months, but you've got to go fast to get people to like you and to trust you, to work with you ultimately, because they've got to buy what you're selling.
So just to delve into a little bit more, the day-to-day role, because it sounds like it's never the same, but I still don't understand how much you get involved in pitching, how much you get involved in marketing the agency, and what does that actually mean? Like, how do you do that?
With pitching, that's the bit I love the most. Depends on the opportunity, how deep I get involved. If it's a big pitch, I'll be there along the way, going to most meetings, really close to the work. And when it's like good work, that's really great to be part of, because if you're not running business, you can sometimes feel a bit removed from the work, and essentially that's our product. So to be able to get close to it on a pitch is really great. But generally leading up to like a big meeting, I'll get more involved in. But even if I'm not in the weeds of a pitch, I'll know what's going on in the weeds.
You were saying the other day it's quite useful not to be in every single meeting so that you can be sort of the fresh eyes.
Yeah. Pitching is a different set of muscles. It's the best of the creative process condensed into a short space of time. So being able to come in our role and, you know, come into a meeting or review a work with fresh eyes as the client, I think is really beneficial. But it's hard because, you know, sometimes you're seen as not, you know, you're not the client, you're the growth person. So you have to really work hard to show that you've got that value and that perspective.
Are there any pitch horror stories you'd like to share?
No, they've all gone perfectly.
That's why we are so good at our jobs.
I have got quite a few. So I once sent the pitch team to the wrong address for an all-agency pitching. Although I actually think it was someone in my team, but I did take responsibility for it.
That makes me feel a bit sick.
And so they had to race across London to get to they made it in time. We did win that one as well. And the other one, I remember it so clearly. I remember the point at the street I was walking down when I realised that the procurement portal I was meant to be uploading the final submission to had shut because I'd got the time difference wrong. And I just sort of rang him straight away, and he was amazing, and obviously was like, this can never happen again, but very empathetic and understanding. And together we sorted it, and then we went on to win.
False deadlines are our best friend, I think I've learned over the years.
Totally,
You've just got to pretend to yourself even, and certainly everyone else around you, that the deadline is at least 24 hours before it actually is, and then you're fine.
I mean, people in my team give me false deadlines.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. but also,
then you lose
also
people's trust.
Lucy, after 6 amazing years at MullenLowe, you have decided to take some time out.
Yes. Yeah, last year was a really difficult year. My mum got sick and she died, and my mum was very much my person. And I, do you know what? I knew I needed to take one thing off my plate. It's quite an all-encompassing, demanding role. And I've got 2 small children, and I was hit quite hard by all of that. It was a very quick thing. And as I say, I just needed to simplify some stuff. And it felt like work was the right thing to just put a pause on.
And can I just commend you on knowing that that was the right thing to do? And it takes a lot of guts to say, I'm in this amazing big job and I need some time. So well done you.
I have to say it was actually very clear in my mind what I needed to do. I mean, MullenLowe were amazing. Thank you to them for enabling that in such a sort of seamless way. When I do something, I need to do it fully. And there was no way that I could continue to do it fully. Probate is an involved thing, and that is now where my focus is, alongside my family, and generally just having a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Someone talked to me about getting through grief as being like built back differently, and I think that is very true. I feel like a very different person. I feel very sad. In time, I will be better for having taken some space to think and to process, and I know that when the time is right, I will step into a new role better, stronger, more ready to take on challenge, and more focused. Like, you need focus, and you need to give a big part of yourself to this role.
This is one of my biggest regrets, not having given myself time for certain things.
Like therapy, which I'm a big believer in and has got me to this place for sure. It is about knowing what is investing in yourself. And I think it is so hard to feel like investing in yourself is a valuable thing.
I find it's mental overload that I struggle with quite a lot. And so I find that if I could have a year off right now, I think that would probably give me a relief from all the guilt that I'm feeling about spreading myself too thin.
I had 3 months off in between roles, and I actually felt the pressure to like make the most out of it.
Yeah, I've been there.
I knew I would look back and regret feeling like that, but you just can't help it.
No. You know, people talk about whether it's harder to be a full-time mum or harder to have a big office job. And I think neither of those is harder. The hardest thing is trying to do both.
Let's do this. This can be a quick fire, everyone. Discuss how we really feel about Cannes.
I'm actually a big fan of Cannes. I think it is celebrating what we do at its best. It's very different now. It's become much bigger. But if we were to only have one show, that's the one I would pick.
Okay.
My partner described it as a love letter to the industry, which I kind of think is great. I wish 2 things. I wish that there was easier access to the work, because it is very expensive and hard to go over and really embrace all the creativity. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? And I wish everyone would stop flying. It's France. It's literally next door, and we're in a climate emergency.
Hear, hear.
Get the train.
LinkedIn. How do you feel about LinkedIn?
It's a new business gift.
Yeah.
But learn to use it in the right way.
It's become quite noisy recently, but
The only thing I would say is we are in a creative industry. Be creative. Stop trawling LinkedIn to find good ideas. Come up with some good ideas. It really is a bugbear for me, only because I'm on it every day and I want to read some new and interesting things.
I think it's good for people who don't have a platform perhaps in their day job to be heard.
Yeah.
And, and it's a means of them getting their thoughts and opinions out.
I don't know if you felt this, but I think there have been more direct approaches from a new business point of view. And LinkedIn enables you to do some homework on those people.
It's great for staying connected. It's great to build a network. You don't, if you're someone that doesn't want to go to events every night, I'm fine doing that sort of thing. But lots of people aren't. Like, you can build a network through LinkedIn. So it's got lots of benefits.
Yes.
Good connections. What excites you both about your job or the industry as a whole in the next 12 months?
Well, I'm going to find my new gang, aren't I? Yeah. So
that's exciting.
it is exciting.
Yeah.
It is exciting. I think having Karen Martin as IPA president is really cool. I think her coming out and going, come on, guys, it's creativity. Why do we keep looking for this new thing that is a thing that we're like? It's creativity. It always has been. Let's just focus on, doing what we do and do it really brilliantly. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So I would like to find a gang that I can do that with.
I've got a really superficial work one. It's so superficial.
Come on.
People are going to judge me for saying
go on.
I would love to win a can or a campaign agency of the year with AMV, because I've done it in previous agencies, and I'd love to be able to say that I've done it again in a different agency at a different stage in my career.
Guys, I've downed my drink. Neither of you have. I feel actually quite tipsy now, but thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
I think it can be also a real time suck, like doing personal branding, and I do not like that phrase. Hold on a
Time
second.
suck.
Or personal branding, which one?
Both.